I think I was able and lucky to grow up in a time of social change. It was the late 60s, early 70s. There was a civil rights movement. There was a Black Panther movement. The Catholic Church had Pope John the 23rd running the show then and opening up to liberality. Um, the women's movement was with us. Things were really happening, and I was a product of that. And so I feel so lucky that I was able to get those gifts. I was able to go to Peru from a relatively little resourced family because others in the community paid to send me. And my whole life changed. So I think I'm always feeling that I owe it and I need to pay it forward and that I have a debt to pay. And I'm motivated by that. And I've learned that every morning I get out of bed and I consciously think, all right, I have the gift of another day. I've got terrific energy. And how can I be the best and most effective person that I can possibly be? What do I have to do to make sure I keep trying to knock it out of the excellence box all the time? And that's how I live.
Brilliant. Um, what would you say to a young, ambitious woman now starting out in her career, someone similar to yourself? What would you say that she would need to know, be aware of, lessons you'd
Yeah.
pass on?
I wish I had realized sooner that all of us need to write the scripts of our own life. You can claim victimization, you can claim advantage, you could claim class disadvantage, lack of resource, all sorts of stuff are possible to say, I'm stopped because of this. You could say you're stopped because of discrimination or you're a victim. But I think that kind of thinking about life is not real productive. I think the way you get to where you want to get to is to think, what is my life? I'm going to write my script, and what is that script going to look like? Realizing that as you get older and have more experiences, your script will change. But unless you take control of that, then I don't think you really know happiness. I don't think you're going to achieve much of anything, frankly, unless you just stumble into a success here and stumble into another success there. But if you really want to get someplace, you've got to think about why, what, when, what are your goals, and how do you want to do it?
And I know you've had many moments, we've just talked about them, but best moment, is there a best moment that you've had in supporting women? One where you've went, oh, that made significant change. I mean, we've talked about so many, but just from your own perspective.
Well, I've been out, of course, in the vanguard of fighting for women's rights, men's rights. You know, gosh, there's been an awful lot of battles every day. Now we're, of course, in the cyber world. We're trying to get, an international cyber organization established so that we can protect from trolling, from anonymity, because when there's anonymity, people do all sorts of terrible stuff. And I think that's in the larger battlefield and, has a great deal of effect. At the end of the day, though, you come down to, what legacy issues. What does it all mean? Why am I living? What difference can I make? And I think, living a solo life is an honorable and good thing, and I can see the attractions of that. In my life, I've been blessed that I have a partner, and it's a real relationship. And sure, there's lots of intellectual argument and issues over the years, and there have been betrayals and all sorts of stuff. That's life. But I think having something where, especially I'm 66, and when you still, you know, I read the younger generation, but I still do texting of naked pictures with my husband back and forth. We still have a fabulous sexual life that's really intense and very frequent. And I just there's a sense of humor about life, and I think if you have that and the thankfulness that life is glorious and how lucky to live any day of it, you know, it has to come down to a personal level too, because that fuels what you can bring to the political debate and keeps you going when you should think, oh, I'm going to burn out, or you focus on the hatred in the world, of which there is so much. I prefer to see what we can do in terms of goodness and privately resource myself so that I have personal relationships that add fire in my belly and keep me nourished and calm and joyous. And then I write my own script. So I try to figure out consciously, what can I really accomplish? What can I add to this equation that might be of some value to me, my family, my community, the world, if I should be so lucky?